Good afternoon. I'm Anjali Gulati, a practicing psychologist at Faith Hospital, Chandigarh. Today I'm here to help you take a closer look into your mental health. Let's call it a mental health check-in. People are now more than before are aware how important it is to talk about mental illnesses and mental health in general. You might have heard these terms, pretty often, and you might wonder what they mean and have a lot of questions regarding it as well. What is the difference between mental health and mental illnesses? Is feeling sad or unhappy a sign of mental illness? How can I better look after my own mental health? So let's start with what actually constitutes mental health. We understand just clearly talking about it is very important to break the obvious stigma that our country has attached to the concerns related to it. Like physical health, everyone has health, mental health as well. Physical health is a state of body, while mental health is a state of mind, feelings, and our emotions. Our mental health includes psychological, emotional, and social well-being. This means it impacts us how we feel and behave and think each day. Our mental health also contributes to our decision making daily, how we cope with stress, and how we relate to others in our life. Being healthy emotionally and mentally can promote productivity, effectiveness at work, school, and even at caregiving. It plays a very important part in our health, in the health of our relationships, and it allows us to adapt to the changes and cope with adversity in our life. All right, so let's understand more clearly what mental illness is. So, mental illness is not the same as feeling sad or unhappy or stressed because of situations that are daily happening to us. Or maybe, for example, if we lose somebody to death, we lose our job or we go through a breakup. Although it's very important to note that these events can contribute to the development of mental illness in future. People with mental illness often present with a significant set of prolonged feelings of distress and sadness, and it often starts for them to feel like they don't have control over their own lives. Okay, people with mental illness and mental health conditions are more likely to experience lower levels of mental well-being, and this is not always but necessary in the case. Let's say mental health is more than the absence of mental health disorders. It exists let's imagine that it exists on a continuum, okay, which is experienced differently in different people with varying difficulties level and distress levels also. Mental health conditions include mental health disorders, psychosocial disabilities, as well as mental health related states, significant distress related to it, and impairment in functioning and self-harm behaviors. So let's get to it now. As it turns out, just like physical health, waiting until an issue arises and it takes to a level that is unbearable is not the best way to take care of your well-being. Issues related to mental health can impact people in different ways. If you start to see changes in your overall levels of happiness and relationships, there are always ways to get help from. And also, trying to tell the difference between what is expected behavior and what might be the signs of mental illness is not very easy for a layman. There's no easy test that can let us know when somebody is, facing a mental illness, or those actions and thought might be just typical behaviors of that person. So, each illness has its own symptoms, but common signs of mental illness in adults and adolescents can include a following list. So I'll start with a list of things. Number one, excessive worrying and fear. When I say excessive, it does not mean that you got less marks in a test and you're sad about it and you come home crying, you're not able to sleep. That excessive worrying means it will prolong. It will take you maybe weeks to get over that one instance, or get over or get out of those feelings. Okay, so excessive worrying and fear is one symptomology. Number two, feeling excessively sad and low. So the excessive is what the key word here is. Excessive means different from the usual low that you feel, different from the usual sad that you get. Number three, confused thinking and problem concentrating and learning. So problems in concentrating and learning is often something, your body and your mind is trying to tell you. You were able to concentrate on certain things before, but now it's getting more difficult. Or maybe you've always had difficulty concentrating on things and getting marks in tests, or having some sort of difficulty there. Number four, extreme mood changes, including uncontrollable highs or feelings of euphoria. So when I say uncontrollable, it means it's different from the ordinary. Other people can also significantly tell you that you are not keeping in the stable mood. Even when you have a stressor, let's say, or even when you have like an external factor affecting you, you are reacting out of the ordinary, according to people and according to yourself as well. Number 5, prolonged or strong feelings of irritability and anger. So there is a very thin line when somebody says कि आपको anger है, or you know, you're just being an irritable person right now. So you need to check with yourself कि is that irritability a part of who I always have been, or this is something that has happened to me recently, or you know, somebody has said something and it's causing me to behave the way I am. Number 6, avoiding friends and social activities. So I will never say that, you know what, somebody who used to never have friends is now telling me कि हाँ, I don't have friends, that's why. It could be, again I say, it could be part of a personality you have, but avoiding friend means a conscious effort to not engage in social activities. Like you used to be part of social groups before, but now you're choosing not to engage anymore. You're noticing that you don't feel like going out. You don't feel like sitting in, you know, people area. So number 7, difficulty understanding and relating to other people. This is often, misunderstood. Difficulty understanding and relating to other people means that you're not able to comprehend what the other person is trying to tell you, or maybe you have a tough time explaining what you are feeling. Difficulty of explaining emotions or feeling them can also be an indicator. Number 8, changes in your sleeping habit and feeling tired and low energy all the time or most of the time. So this is, independent of the fact that you've been working out and that's why you're feeling low, or you've had a trek to go to and that's why you're feeling low. So that feeling low just takes on a longer period. It leads on for a longer period of time. Number 9, changes in eating habits such as increased hunger or lack of appetite at all. Like you feel like eating too much and you're always looking for food inside or outside your house, or you're calling in, you're ordering out all the time. So that means excessive hunger that did not exist before. Or you've lost your appetite just in the moment, or maybe you don't know the reason why. So you're not able to eat even when you're presented with one of your favorite dishes. Let's say you're presented with a chocolate or an ice cream that you used to enjoy before, but now you don't feel like it. Number 10, changes in your sexual drives. This is for people who have been engaging in their sexual activities and now suddenly have lost interest, or let's say they are disinterested to a level that is not ordinary for them. Number 11, difficulty perceiving reality. This means difficulty in making sense of the world. You may not know it, but other people might see certain things that you are perceiving in the environment. They may not objectively exist in the reality. Some people can start hearing voices. Some people can start seeing things around. Some people can get some command type signals or hearing auditory sensations. Those things can also be indicative of mental illness, or maybe it's a sign that is telling you maybe it's time for you to get a checkup done. Next, inability to perceive things in own feelings and behaviors. So that we can say that somebody who you started to lose a little insight. If you ask them कि कल रात को क्या खाया था, so they may not know this. Or somebody would ask you like, what is your name? And they have like a few extra seconds to think about it. For somebody who's not struggling will just right away tell you, what's your name? My name is Anjali Gulati. But somebody who starts to struggle may find difficulty explaining the smallest of things. This is immediate memory things. Next, overuse of substances like alcohol or drugs. So that I know that people who use drugs, they know their limit or they may not know their limit. But if you are dependent on it, if that is an escape for you from reality or from the jobs that you are ordinarily part of, if that is becoming an escape, that is a concern. It is something you should pay attention to. Next, thinking about suicide. So when I say thinking about suicide, it does not just say just having to do something or attempt something. It can also mean trying or thinking about harming oneself. It's about having those thoughts that maybe if I were not here, शायद चीज़ें अच्छी हो जाती, or maybe I'm not worthy enough to be alive, maybe I'm not valued enough by my family, my friends, if I didn't exist, things would be better. All these kinds of thoughts are significant enough for you to get a professional attention. The next one is inability to carry out daily activities or handle daily problems. So we know that all of us carry out a routine. We get up at a significant time, we do certain things, we brush our teeth, we go for work, we get ready, we want to buy stuff. So when you start to feel difficulties in even getting out of your bed, it seems like a chore to just do the basic things that you have been doing, and now you are having struggle, and it takes a lot out of you to just get out of the bed. That is again something to be a little mindful of. The last one is intense fear of weight gain or concern with appearance. So I know I'm going to be addressing a lot of adolescents here today, all those young adults who feel like, we don't look as great, we don't have the body type that others have, or I don't look a certain way, and this is causing you enough problems that you are escaping social occasions, you're escaping going to public places, you do not want to wear dresses, you are trying to hide your body here and there, you're aggressively working out, or it's causing you so much struggle that you're not able to focus on other important areas of your life. This is the preoccupation with how you look and your appearance, and this can cause distress. So if this is happening with you, if you do feel a little too indulgent in how you look and how you should look, this is a concern. Let's get a mental health checkup done if we're checking in today. Okay, now it's very important to note that these symptoms may have been part of your life, or maybe you're noticing it today after having the check-in list with you. And these can also be new addition or recent additions to your personality. It can be, like for example, like there are some conditions, like when we talk about schizophrenia as a mental health condition that involves some delusions and hallucinations, a typical age or normatively studied age for somebody to develop some sort of symptoms related to it is mid-20s. So that is what we are focusing on. You may have had those symptoms, or you are noticing it now, or maybe it's an addition, a very recent one. You still need some sort of checking in done with yourself. In either of the two cases, please, the next best step is to see a mental health professional. It could either be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And let's focus on children now. I know there must be a lot of parents also listening to me. Mental health conditions can also begin to develop in young children, because they're still learning to identify, they're still learning how to talk and even share their thoughts and emotions. So their obvious symptoms may not be too large a window, but yes, there are some symptoms you can notice in your child. If you notice certain changes in school performance, that your child has been writing and doing their homework comfortably until they're not, until they're struggling, and you get scribbles in their notebooks, red marking milti hai aapko ghar aakar, and teacher starts to complain ki they don't sit properly, or they're always talkative, wo dhyan nahi de rahe, all these kinds of things, changes in their school performance. Next is excessive worry and anxiety. For instance, fighting to avoid leaving the bed. Now children, if they're going to school every day, we don't notice a lot of difference. But when one fine day, or it starts happening that they say ki maine school nahi jana hai, I don't feel like going, and it's very difficult for me to go to school, and they're not able to tell you why. Notice that their behavior, even if it's out of ordinary, it's trying to tell you something. They may not have the right words to share with you, but that is something still important for you to take notice of. Next is hyperactive behavior. Now children before the age of 5 or 6 are hyper. Like we know for a fact that they'll always be running around, they'll have a lot of energy, they'll eat, maybe they'll eat while walking and running. So that hyperactivity is still expected. But if it gets out of control, that even when you're trying to settle them down, they would just not be able to sit in one position. The hyperactivity is out of control, and you have to see if it's out of ordinary or not. Frequent nightmares. Now children, they have nightmares due to something or not, but they may never be able to understand why or how. So we have to be receptive enough that if it's frequently happening with them, they're getting out of bed, or they're not able to sleep in night, and they keep telling you like, I had a bad dream, mujhe kuch ganda nazar aaya hai, something dark is going to get to me. Please notice that these are again some signs the child is trying to tell you that they are struggling emotionally. Frequent disobedience and aggression. Now we know a normative behavior of children is often associated with some form of aggression or some sort of hostility in a contained manner. But when you start to see that it's getting to you, it's reaching to you at a level that is not ordinary, or they are more aggressive than other children, and they start to hit other children with no reason of its own. So notice that this kind of aggression is not very normative. This can be something that they are struggling with. They have a lot of energy inside and they don't know how to channelize it properly. Frequent temper tantrums. So temper tantrums could mean they are crying excessively, or they're laughing excessively, or they're not able to contain whatever symptoms they're having or whatever behaviors they are showing. Out of ordinary, if you think anything is happening, do not hesitate to come to a professional and get your child checked out. So after going through this exhaustive list of important and significant symptoms that we have discussed, let's not fear the stigma that it costs our health also. Let's not wait for our concerns to reach to a level where it becomes unbearable and reaching out to a professional becomes a last hope. Rather, let's encourage each and everyone to keep checking in with a professional whenever they feel too distressed to function or continue in their life. I'll tell you why. It's something very important. It's not just something that I'm a mental health professional and I'm propagating my own profession, but there are 3 reasons why you should consider yearly mental health checkup. One is prevention. As like physical health, mental health checkup can also identify potential problems and stresses from early on before they grow into a full-blown clinical condition and diagnosis. In addition, treatment is usually easier in the earlier stages of problem. Next is education. A checkup also teaches you about your own needs so that you have a better understanding of what is normal for you in particular circumstances. I have already told you, like for example, people in their 20s might worry about meeting a partner or paying off student loans, and people in their 50s might start dealing with emptiness syndrome or caring for aging parents. So these 2 things are still normative, but if it gets out of bounds, if a 50-year-old starts to think about a relationship or an extramarital affair or anything, it will seem a little odd to you. We're not judging, but it can seem a little odd. Maybe they need companionship. Maybe they feel a little too lonely. Those are still important concerns to address. Okay, the last one is monitoring. So we know that at different ages, our risk for certain conditions also changes. Regular check-ins with mental health professionals can help you be more aware of the transformations over time. For example, I've already told you, schizophrenia often presents itself in early 20s. So those who have established mental health diagnosis may also need assessed for flare-ups. Just like chronic mental health conditions such as arthritis or as asthma, it is still helpful to check up on mental health systems and symptoms just to make sure you are keeping up. So lastly, I would also want to share a small list of things. Now I know that I've already exhausted you with a lot of technicalities and a lot of symptoms based on negative, connotations. So I'll share like a small list of things that can help you maintain mental health. Let's say that yes, you are keeping up with the routine, you're having good social circle, you're physically healthy, you like getting out of bed, you love your routine and everything goes well. So how to maintain that now? Number 1 is to connect with other people. Good relationships are important for your mental health and mental well-being. They can help you find a sense of belonging and self-worth. They can give you an opportunity to share positive experiences with others. They can help you provide emotional support and allow you to be a support for somebody else as well. Okay, next is be physically active. Being physically active is not only great for your physical health and fitness, it has also shown evidence it improves your mental well-being by raising your self-esteem, helping you to set goals and challenges and achieve them. It can also help your brain to positively function and maintain a mood that you are wanting to maintain. Next is learning new skills. Now, I am not just saying it as a throwaway term like, learn something, learn a language or anything. But yes, we need our brain to keep functioning. We need our brain to be stimulated for us to keep finding some sort of sensation when things get a little too mundane in life. So research has shown that learning new skills can improve your well-being by boosting your self-confidence, raising your self-esteem again, helping you build a sense of purpose in life, and help you to connect with others as well. Now, giving to others as part of kindness. Research has shown that acts of giving and kindness can help you improve your mental well-being by creating positive feelings and a sense of reward for oneself. It gives you a feeling of self-worth. By helping people, you are connecting with the feeling of being a nice person, being a kind human being. It could also be small acts of kindness, like just contributing to a community NGO, just giving out one extra bread loaf to a maid or to anybody who you see. Like, it's very, very hot these days. Just offering a glass of water to your delivery person or whoever comes to your door. These are examples of being kind and how it can make you feel good about yourself. Just by saying thank you to somebody who's opened the door for you, asking your friends and family to just drop in a message and say, how are you doing? I was just thinking about you. Small things will reap rewards because that is something that you are consciously doing. A lot of us struggle to, feel in control. Let's take charge here. Let's take charge of checking in on our friends or family. Offering help to somebody with the smallest of things, like, just making a drawing for them, helping a child with that. Those are the things that you can increase your self-worth and also maintain a good self-image. Last one is pay attention to the present moment. So I know a lot of people will jump to the point where we say being mindful. Yes, being mindful is important. Anything and everything that you do it with all your heart, because yes, that in that particular time it involves you. It needs your attentions. Paying more attention to the present moment can improve your mood. This can include your thoughts, your feelings, your regulation of body, and even the world around you. Some people call it awareness. It can help you enjoy life more. Let's say if you're having an ice cream today, enjoy the ice cream. Taste the texture on your tongue. Enjoy that sweetness on your tongue. Imagine the crispness of the cone that you're having. All of this can really engage you in the present moment, and you'll be able to enjoy and experience 10 times more. It can positively change the way you feel and how you approach life. All right, so this was all for today. I hope this was engaging, this was informative, and please, if you are struggling, if any one point you could relate with, do not hesitate to ask for help. Help is always available, and it is always going to be available. Reach out to people and contact. Thank you very much.